Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day, man. This y'all should be Rachel. Oof, let's talk about it, yo. This shit is wild. I was uploading some videos and I came across one of the videos that I did a review and reaction to last year, right? It's crazy, right? I know I'm not the only one. A lot of us grew up thinking that O.J. Simpson was, the person that unalived Nicole Simpson, right? But is O.J. Simpson the scapegoat? Is Nicole's real killer still free? Like, mm, I got an article here I'm about to read to y'all, right? So today we're diving back into one of the most explosive trials in modern American history, all right, guys? The murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. When O.J. Simpson walked free in 1995, the verdict didn't just shock the nation. It exposed the raw nerves of racial tension, media sensationalization. Blessings, Gary Busted Brown. How you doing? We got the OG in the building. Guys, make sure y'all go check him out. All right, so when it got exposed, the raw nerves of racial tension, media sensationalism, all right? I have a hard time pronouncing that word. In police procedure, all right? But what if Simpson was how can I say, a convenient scapegoat at the moment, right? And what I mean by that, right, it's crazy that I see them do this a lot with a lot of Hollywood, right, celebrities. What if he was a convenient scapegoat? Um, it is crazy because they had a confession, and I got the article right here, which I'm going to read in a minute. We got T-Rail in the building. Blessings, guys. Make sure y'all go check out T-Rail. All right. But if this is true, right, it's fucked up that a man sat here, did time for a crime that he didn't do, which is something that a lot of men nowadays, especially in this time and era, right, go through. You got the innocent locked up, right, and the ones that need to be behind bars out free. Like, but back on topic, right? What if Simpson was a convenient scapegoat? What if the true killer remains at large, hidden by the very system we trust to protect? Right? But it doesn't seem like that, right? It seems like he is alive and he is due to, how can I say, he's got the gun of, he's got the death penalty, right? Due to him being a suspect of 70 murders, right, in the past. That's what he's got right now. So he is out there. He's just not free. All right. But what's crazy is, what if a lot of people that were in O.J. Simpson's, right, accused of a crime like O.J. Simpson, right, whether it was murdering somebody, sexually assaulting somebody, abusing somebody, right, ends up in jail doing time, right, and in reality, it wasn't even them. It was somebody else doing it, right? But they was the perfect scapegoat. What if the true killer remains at large, which he's not, right? He's not hidden by the system. This isn't just true crime, all right, nostalgia. This is, how can I say, it's a mirror held up to our system, our news cycles, and our collective, how can I say, willingness to demand real accountability, all right? Something that we're not doing. Facts. Oh shit, my OG put the damn link in the bottom. Shout out to OG. I appreciate that, Gary. Facts. He the real killer, right? The person that made the confession he's supposed to be known as the Kasanova killer, who claimed he murdered 70 women, including Nicole Brown Simpson, right? Set to be executed next month, all right? This was published on April 16th, 2025. So apparently, he was supposed to have set to be executed. This was April. On June. So did he get executed? All right. Listen, if it wasn't for me uploading this video earlier, I wouldn't have even thought about doing this research because I completely forgot. I really completely forgot. I did this live one time, and it's crazy how I didn't pick up on it. Like, I didn't, continue. I should have. But you know what's crazy? I got so much going on, and I got a lot of lives scheduled. Like, what's got me though, thinking about this case, right? How far did they go to set up OJ? Because according to, according to the courts and that, right, they found blood all over his car and stuff like that. How did that blood get there? See, that's where the confusion starts to come in. But we don't want to think like that, because according to this person, right, the Kasanova killer, right, the, what was it, the cross-country killer. That's what he's also known as, right? I was just hearing a video where they were saying that he was a cute guy. I mean, cute. I mean, if y'all consider this cute, I guess. I mean, I don't know what's cute. But anyways, if that's true that he did this, why did they make OJ go through all this? What made OJ Simpson the perfect scapegoat to pin this crime on? All right. How can we reform forensic evidence protocols so that blood spatters and analysis, right, DNA collection, and crime scenes integrity are, how can I say, uniformly righteous, right, regardless of the defendant's fame or race? Anyways, in what ways can we change media ethics guidelines to prevent sensational coverage from influencing jury pools and public opinion before a trial even begins? Because I feel as though that OJ, since he was the perfect scapegoat, right, they went out their way to convince everybody, to put in everybody's mind, right, that he had to be put away for this. And I didn't really pay attention to the whole. So this is going to be like a little OJ saga that we're going to start today. All right. Because I was young when this happened, just like the Melendez brothers case. Just like the Melendez brothers case. All right. So it says right here, a self-proclaimed serial killer who once boasted of killing 70 women, right, 70 women to a member of law enforcement, is set to be executed in Florida next month, which would have been in June, all right, of 2025, this year. Glenn Rogers, also known as the Kasanova killer, will be put to death. Oh yeah, damn, I skipped a month and nobody even told me. Damn, I fucked up like that. It was April, May, June. Damn, I skipped 2 months. Damn, I skipped a month to get to June. Shit. So he was supposed to have been executed 3 months ago. So I gotta look that up. I mean, I guess if you want to say so, but I'm going by the evidence. He was found guilty, yeah, but they were accusing him for a while. He did time for this shit. And all I know is that till the day that he passed away, people were still accusing him. And I think it was not so long ago when people started, like when I did this live, I think it was in 2024. That's when people started, really seeing, when they started speaking up. I think around 2023, 2024, when people started really, like, how can I say, podcasters, bloggers started bringing up the question, was OJ Simpson, Nicole killer's, bro killer? So, and what's crazy is, all right, we do these lives here, right, to bring awareness, all right, to improve, all right. How can we prevent this, right, from happening in the future? Something that is still happening to this day, all right. Men are still getting wrongfully accused for whatever the reason is, all right. And what's crazy is before they believe a man, they'll believe a woman, all right. So we're just bringing awareness. If you don't want to have a conversation, if you don't want to be a part of the solution, you don't got to be here. All right, the door's right there. Make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you where the good Lord split you on some real shit. Because we're here to try to improve. All right, we know Simpson got found not guilty, but the bullshit he went through, the shit his kids went through, until people started realizing that this wasn't true. The same thing with the Melendez brothers case. All right, the Melendez brothers, right? They're thinking, I think they're saying they're about to give them another trial to see if they'll release them. They should have been released them. All right, until they once they figured out everything about the case. You see where I'm coming from? The Melendez brothers should have been released with some type of mandatory counseling or therapy. So it's so much of this going on, and all we doing is talking about it. If you don't want to talk about it, have a conversation on how we can improve, right, the things around us, you don't got to be here. But if you're part of the solution, let's talk about it. If you're part of the solution, let's talk about it, all right? Because a lot of people don't know about this. So yes, when I uploaded my video this morning, I was like, damn, I was supposed to pick up on this. I never did. Hey, let's do it. I got a little free time this morning before I got to go about and do my business and do what I got to do out there. Let's talk about it. Like, is, right? Because there's rumors going around, but they found blood in, you know, O.J. Simpson's car. He is the killer. There's still people with, you know, how can I say, with that thought in their head, thinking that O.J. Simpson unalived his wife, and it wasn't the person that said that he was. My thing is, you know, what did they do with the evidence, the DNA, all of that? You see, what happened? Like, I get they say that OJ was free and all that, right? But why isn't this man, right, really being charged for Nicole Simpson's death? He is being accused. He's not being executed for Nicole Simpson's death. She's not a part of it, right? But he is being accused of murdering 70 women, right? And it says Kasanova killer who claimed he murdered 70 women, including Nicole Brown Simpson, set to be executed next month. What's crazy is, why do people, like, why is it so hard to believe that OJ didn't do this and that the Kasanova killer was the actual killer? See, this is the problem that we have with social media nowadays, right? We got a lot of people out here putting misinformation, right? Saying what they want to say, flipping the narratives, right? If you got an opinion, say it, right? Other than that, don't add to it, don't take away from it. That's a fact. What's that? I'm trying to see if I can say your name right. Zoltoni Mo. He said, I just got my case dismissed for a crime I never committed today and couldn't work for 9 months and went through a lot. That's a fact. Henry Zoom says, not being found guilty doesn't mean he didn't do it. Lafala, how is OJ a scapegoat? He murdered his wife. I mean, hey, you see it that way, but at the end of the day, did he really murder his wife? Did they really do what they were supposed to do, right? Did they follow the evidence? You see where I'm coming from? Because what's crazy is that the Casanova killer was found months after, right, Nicole Simpson was unalived, right? And he confessed to this. Right, and then what's crazy is a jury. Let me see. It says over here. Let's get back onto the article real quick. It says Glenn Rogers, also known as the Casanova killer, will be put to death on May 15 by lethal injection after Governor Ron DeSantis signed his death warrant on April 15th. Right. So the death warrant was signed on April 15th. All right. It says a jury sentenced Rogers, 62, to death back in 1997 after convicting him of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and grand theft of a motor vehicle following the death of 34-year-old Tina Marie Cribbs. The final moment of Cribbs' life are detailed in a motion filed by prosecutors in response to the second of Rogers' 3 failed attempts to overturn his guilty verdict. So Rogers met Cribbs at a bar in Tampa and convinced her to drive him home, according to the motion. Okay, so this is talking about Cribbs right here. So I'm gonna leave this right here, but I want y'all to go check it out. Gary left the article here. It's gonna talk about everything from Nicole Simpson, O.J. Simpson, right, to the 70 victims that he unalived and more. I don't know who was guilty and who was abused as children, man. But like I was saying earlier, right? How might we mandate anonymous reporting channels for witnesses and victims to ensure protection against intimidation and retaliation? All right. And what's crazy is, right, if OJ Simpson didn't do it, right, and according to people, the Kasanova killer didn't do it, who unalived Nicole Simpson? Is Nicole Simpson's killer still at large? Because according to this article, right, the Kasanova killer was supposed to have been sentenced. Let me see. Did they give the Casanova killer? Wait, what happened? Did the Casanova killer? Did the Casanova killer receive lethal injection? All right, hey, I'm all right. Damn, there's a couple Casanova killers. I didn't even know that. So Paul John Knowles is one of them, or Glenn Edwards Rogers. Facts. Like I thought OJ was the killer for a while. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I grew up like all this evidence pointing towards him, right? Like they said, but this that could also be planted. You see where I'm coming from? What if he was set up? Like it could go so many ways. Then you got this guy making a confession, which they're giving the lethal injection to. You see where I'm coming from? If they don't believe him, then who really unalived Nicole Simpson? Since people, want to put this narrative out there like that. What is the truth? See, I'm trying to get to the root of it, right? Because what's crazy, like I told you, there's a lot of men out here, right, in prison doing time, right, until they're found innocent. They got to do that time. And what's crazy is they'll believe a woman and she's able to walk free until she's proven guilty before they believe a man. And he has to do time until proven guilty. That's the crazy part. All right, so according to this right here, it says that he was executed 8/15/2025 in the Florida State Prison. So he's not here. And if he was the original killer, then he went down, but with nobody knowing that he was the original killer. All right, now what confuses everybody, right? Let me see if y'all can hear this, all right? Because I got this little clip right here, and I'm hoping that y'all can hear it. We got young Rhea in the building. God's outlaws. Oh, we got some trolls in the building too, I guess. I don't know how to take that. All right, because good outlaws, right? Oh, God's outlaws saying, they got a little. I'm guessing this one's going to be one racist motherfucker right here, right? Because he put a little ninja right there, right? And I'm not sure. Because he put an R after the ninja. So I'm trying to figure out, oh yeah, this is one racist motherfucker. God's outlaws. Let me find out. Here we go. I'm at the computer. I want to block him, but I can't do it right here. Damn. But I can't. Alright, so I want y'all to listen to this real quick.
An OJ, a Hamilton man, says his brother is the one who killed Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman, and now his story has been made into a documentary set to air on Investigation Discovery. But one woman we spoke with says not so fast. News 5's Karen Johnson joining us now from Hamilton with the story. Karen?
Well, Mike, the documentary is set to air Wednesday night, and it'll take viewers to Hamilton, here along Park Avenue. The narrator of the film is the brother of serial killer Glenn Rogers. But another family member I spoke with for quite a while today was the allegations in the film made by Clay Rogers are just not true. Glenn Rogers, currently on death row for a murder in Florida. The Hamilton native made local national headlines in 1995 when he led police on a high-speed chase which ended in Richmond, Kentucky. Rogers is also suspected of killing at least 10 others and once claimed he had murdered 70 people.
I was about 11 years old. Glenn was about 8.
Now his brother Clay Rogers, seen here narrating a documentary that will air on Investigation Discovery, claims Glenn is also responsible for the 1994 deaths of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman.
He would share bad things with me, so there was a bond there.
The documentary claims Glenn told family members that he was working for Simpson and he was going to take her down. But in an exclusive phone interview with me, the Rogers' ex-sister-in-law Paula Rogers, who was married to their other brother Gary for 34 years, disputes Clay's allegations. Paula says Glenn, quote, did not kill Nicole Simpson. He was in the area. He was in the same bar Nicole was, but he did not kill her. About Clay, Paula told me this is a desperate cry for help. I don't understand why he's doing this to his own brother. She claims he is homeless right now. Nobody wants him. Several times in my interview, she said Clay has always been a con man. We did some digging into his past and found he has an extensive criminal history out of Iowa. Drug charges, domestic abuse, parole violation in 2008. And just less than 3 months ago, he was in the Butler County Jail on burglary and theft charges.
Oh, listen, let me see who's this. Oh, Johnny Quest. Oh, my God, Cartoon Network. Get the fuck out of here. Johnny Quest, you don't gotta be here. All right? Listen, if you don't like what you're hearing, why you here? I just did a whole live about that yesterday. Why do y'all keep feeding the same thing y'all claim to hate? If you don't want to hear something, if you don't like it, don't watch it, don't view it, don't give it the view. Because I said from the beginning, all right? We're not here to debate, we're not here to argue. We're here to have a conversation. And if you can't do that, hey, the doorknob right there, make sure the good Lord, the good Lord doesn't split you. That's it, bro, shit. So if you don't want to be here, the exit, click it, it exists. You don't gotta be here. Go find something to sit down and swirl in. Find a fucking rainbow you can hop on, okay? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Now enjoy your day. Let's continue, guys. It's just a troll. It's just a troll.
Yes. And I did try reaching out to Investigative Discovery today about Paula's claims, but I have not yet heard back from anyone. The film is set to air Wednesday night. Reporting live in Hamilton, Karen Johnson.
So that is just one article right there. Then we got this.
Relentless, ultimate competitors, fighting for injured workers' rights. And Stern and Cohen, winning isn't just a goal, it's an obsession. Bring us on and experience our winning strategy in action for you.
Alright, so now we got this, right? So one thing I've noticed is that people is confused, right, when it comes to O.J. Simpson and the bull, right? If they did have evidence on O.J., why did they release it? You see where I'm coming from? It's too many secrets behind this case. And what's crazy is that, O.J. is not the only one right, that has gone through this. There's a lot of men that go through this shit, through the system, right? Like, what training and oversight structures can we build into law enforcement agencies to root out confirmation bias, high-profile investigations, right? How can domestic, is my mic on yet? How can domestic violence prevention programs be refunded and expanded so that warning signs in relationships like Nicole's never go unaddressed? All right. What legislative, right, reforms would hold prosecutorial office, right, accountable, my bad, when credible leads or suspects are not fully pursued? What's crazy is that when this man got caught, right, he got caught, I think if I'm not mistaken, a few months after Nicole was murdered, right? And when he got caught, he confessed to murdering 70 other women, right, including Nicole Simpson, and the boy was with her. So why didn't they do an investigation on that? Why was they so pressed that it was O.J. Simpson? You see where I'm coming from? I mean, it's too much to this. Like, I grew up hearing that he was, guilty of this. And when I got older, people were starting to show proof. I mean, I'm not going to say proof, right? They were starting to break down the evidence. Let me say it like that, right? Saying, how is it possible that he did this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they went through rabbit holes and oceans to try to, but till this day, nobody knows who Nicole Simpson's real killer is. And what's crazy is, right, when situations like this happens, there's always one person that has to pay the price until they're proven innocent. Whether it's in a murder case, a sexual abuse case, a domestic case, it doesn't matter. All right, and we're speaking in general, all right? We're not speaking, towards anybody in specific, like when I'm speaking about, cases around us, cases that we've seen, cases that we've heard, all right? I'm just speaking in general, because there's a lot of this happening, all right? It's not the first time, I've had conversations with somebody or had conversations on panel where people have said, damn, it's crazy how a lot of the innocent are locked up behind bars or in mental institutions while the crazies and the ones that should be behind bars are out here roaming the streets. All right, so this is not to sit here and, how can I say it? I didn't bring this live to argue with anybody or debate. My question to everybody is, right, if O.J. Simpson, right, didn't commit the murder, right, and nobody believes that he, what is his name, Glenn Rogers, right, who confessed to the murder, did it? Who actually unalived Nicole Simpson?
Strange coincidences, a recent meeting, and some outlandish claims. Here's why Glenn Edward Rogers confessed to the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. In the early morning hours of June 13, 1994, the bodies of 35-year-old Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend, 25-year-old Ronald Goldman, were found lying in pools of blood outside Simpson's Brentwood, California condominium. As reported by Penn Live, both Simpson and Goldman had been stabbed multiple times, and their attacker had fled the scene. In the course of their investigation, authorities learned Nicole was the ex-wife of former football star O.J. Simpson. Per AP News, law enforcement officials went to O.J.'s house at approximately 4:30 a.m. to inform him of Nicole's death. They immediately noticed what appeared to be a bloodstain on O.J.'s Ford Bronco, as well as a trail of what appeared to be blood leading from the vehicle to the front.
You see where I'm coming from? So, according to their evidence, right, back in the day, because I was a little girl when this happened, according to their evidence, they found bloodstains on OJ's van and everything. How did them bloodstains get there if OJ wasn't in the crime scene at the time? Or was he? You see where I'm coming from? Like, listen. Then you got the bull that made possession, the brother saying that he was, cleaning houses and stuff like that in the neighborhood. But according to, certain people, OJ wasn't there. Then some people are saying that he was there. You see where the confusion goes? Nobody knows fucking nothing. But what does the real evidence really say? And where is the real evidence? Do we have to do we have to get in touch with CSI on some real shit?
His home. As they were suspicious of OJ's possible involvement in the murders, authorities obtained a search warrant to search the inside of his vehicle and home.
I always said it was the most depressing and sad night of my life.
During the search, law enforcement officials found a bloody glove, which was similar in appearance to a glove found at the murder scene per AP News. They also found more blood stains inside Simpson's vehicle and home. Simpson was ultimately arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder with special circumstances on June 17, 1994. However, he vehemently denied any involvement during the trial.
What's crazy is, right, was the car in the home? Was it in the actual property that she got murdered? That would make sense why there was blood in the car and around the car. If it was in the same property, I mean, they were living together, right? I mean, I'm just trying to make sense of it, right? I'm older now, and I've seen a lot of men go through this on some real shit. Been accused of something they didn't do, right? Of committing murder towards, somebody they cared about, or abusing somebody that they cared about. Did he abuse her? Maybe. Because I wasn't there, so I'm not here to talk about the abuse, right? But it seemed like there was some type of abuse there between these two, all right? That I'm not going to take away from. All right, but I can't speak on something, right, when I wasn't there, and there are just rumors of he say, she say. All right, all this happened, right, especially way before I was fucking born. All right, I was born in '89. I'm 35 now. All right, I'm a lot older. I got a lot more common sense now. All right, I understand things a whole lot fucking better. So yeah, I do got questions. None of this shit is making sense. Was he around the property, right, for them to have accused him of this? Is there witnesses, right? And this is a gated community that they have. I don't think they had cameras in the 80s, did they? I think they did, surveillance cameras. I mean, I don't know if I'm asking the right questions. I'm hoping I am. So like I said, if y'all here today having a conversation with a shorty, you are a part of the solution. And what I mean by a part of the solution is you want improvement. You want change, right? And listen, we can't change the world. And, one day, we can't make a difference in one day. That's going to take a hell of a lot of time, especially with the way that we are right now divided. That's why I'm not focused or worried about those that don't give a fuck about, bettering themselves on some real shit. We could do that while we live, love, and laugh at the same fucking time. It's just that we got so many miserable people out here. Misery loves company. And guess what? A shorty not joining y'all. If y'all want drama, y'all want beef, y'all want all that shit, there's plenty of channels around YouTube. YouTube is a big-ass platform. Search it and find it. So, let's continue. That was my message to the trolls.
While prosecutors argued that OJ and Nicole had a notoriously volatile relationship and that OJ was jealous of Nicole's relationship with Goldman. Meanwhile, OJ's defense team argued that he was framed by police officers who had a history of racist behavior. They also argued that the evidence against OJ simply did not prove he was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The trial, which lasted 9 months, concluded on October 3, 1995. Jurors determined OJ Simpson was not guilty in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman per Newsweek. Although Simpson and his supporters think the jury made the correct decision, others believe the former football star got away with the murder. Over the years, several theories regarding who else might have killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman have been suggested. One theory, which was presented in the 2012 documentary My Brother the Serial Killer, suggested that the pair were actually murdered by serial killer Glenn Edward Rogers. In the documentary, Glenn's brother Clay Rogers said, "I'm absolutely certain that my brother killed Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman." Clay also suggested that Glenn had the means and opportunity to kill Nicole and Goldman, as he was working as a house painter in the area when they were murdered. For ABC News, Glenn reportedly told his brother and sister that he met Nicole and noted that she was wealthy.
They got money, they're well off, and I'm taking her down.
In an interview with a criminal profiler, he allegedly claimed that O.J. Simpson had hired him to steal a pair of earrings and kill his former wife during the robbery. Glenn also provided specific...
Could that be true? Could this narrative be true right here? What the brother is saying? Could O.J. Simpson have hired the bull to murder his wife and made it look like, the way it looked? Could he, did the bull rob his wife? O.J. Simpson, let me stop saying it like that, all right. Did the guy rob Nicole Simpson, right, and unalived her behind the orders of O.J. Simpson? Was it that bad? Was their relationship that toxic? Could that have been a perfect way to get away with murder? His hands clean? But the thing is, right, here's the question, right, and I don't know if a lot of people question it, right? If that's true, how did what's his name? Fucking Edward Glenn, right? And O.J. Simpson meet? When did they meet? When did they come together to even, put together this whole little plan? You see where I'm coming from? But we're not going to find out because I think O.J. is not here no more.
And from what we are finding out, the bull, Edward Glenn, he got executed not so long ago. So the truth from them, we're not going to get it. This is going to be a puzzle piece that is going to be hard to put together. Like, how do we create independent review boards, right? Free from political and departmental influence to re-examine cases that resulted in controversial acquittals, right? In what ways can community organization partners, right? Organizations partner with legal and legal aid services to ensure marginalized voices are heard and protected throughout the trial process? How can we leverage digital platforms on social media to crowdsource credible news leads without endangering witness safety or obstructing justice? All right. I want to put these questions out there to get a discussion started, whether it's with the people that are in the chat with me right now or those that are catching the replay. I would love for y'all to leave y'all input down right below y'all opinions, what y'all think and how y'all feel about this. All right. Can we make a change? Can we make a difference? How can we improve, right, the judicial, the judicial, all right, that's how you say it, judicial system, all right? How do we improve that?
Let me see. All right, we got some people in the comments. All right. Christian Hammer says Mark Furman was the lead investigator. Facts. Like, I think I'm gonna make this a little saga, right? Because how do we help, right? How do we help the boys, the men, right? In the future, right? When they're innocent in situations like this. Now, the question is OJ really innocent or not? You see where I'm coming from? We can go about this in so many ways, right? So if OJ didn't do it, right, and Edward Glenn didn't do it, is Nicole Simpson's killer free and at large? Did he get away with murder? Somebody said hire the bull. Yes, it's possible. See? And I think that's one way to get away with murder. Somebody said, let me see, Justin Hand said OJ was caught but was wrongly, yeah. I think he was trying to say wrongfully. No, he got it right, wrongly released. Unfortunately, he got away with murder. That's another way of seeing it. See, other people's got different ways of seeing it. See, we got to make this case make sense because in reality, in real life out here, we have real good men out here that get put behind bars and they're innocent. So how do we work with this? How do we change the judicial system, the legal system, right? How do we make it work, right? And what's crazy is the system isn't broken. It's the people within the system, right, that is fucking up the system. It's fucking you, me, or anybody else over, right? Because what's crazy is, right, if you look at the system and you learn it, right, you can learn how to use it to work, how can I say it, to make it work towards you. You can use the system to help you. You just got to know how to go about it. And it may seem crazy what I'm saying. You just got to take a minute and think about what I'm saying and go out there and do your own research. All right. I've talked about this. We got so many lives, especially throughout this. Well, I think we've been a month already breaking down the system, right? Going through the loopholes, right? The things that we could, do as communities if we come together, right? And much more. Can we make a change? We're just too divided to see that we can't.
All right. So let's let him finish saying what he's saying, right? And like I told y'all, man, I ask these questions, right? There's only a few people in the chat right now because I want people, right? Listen, let's start talking about these things, all right? All of you got sons, all of you got daughters. You see where I'm coming from? So when your child goes through something, we want the actual person to be behind bars. When they get, when your child grows up and they get into a relationship, right, and they do them, something happens, right? We want the actual perpetrator behind bars. All right. We look at things. Listen, we forgot the blueprint that our ancestors left behind on some real shit. We forgot to read it, learn it. on some real shit, because what we seem to fail to realize is that they taught us to share everything, but not the damn pain. I'm telling you, they taught us how to cover that. And what's crazy that we don't seem to realize that we create monsters, right? Those that are parents don't seem to realize that we create monsters. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, all right? But O.J. Simpson was somebody's son. Nicole Simpson was somebody's daughter, all right? And the way that these kids grow up, and I know that at a certain point they should know better, right? Once they reach a certain age. What's crazy is some of these kids ain't guided right to even know what's right and wrong. It's fucked up to say, but it's the reality, all right?
Specific details about the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, which further supported his claim that he in the area when they were murdered. For ABC News, Glenn reportedly told his brother and sister that he met Nicole and noted that she was wealthy.
They got money, they're well off, and I'm taking her down.
In an interview with a criminal profiler, Glenn allegedly claimed that O.J. Simpson had hired him to steal a pair of earrings and kill his former wife during the robbery. Glenn also provided specific details about the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, which further supported his claim that he committed the brutal murders.
Let me pause it right there. Let me go back. He did what? He provided specific details that nobody else knew, that wasn't put in the media. How could he have provided specific details? And I'm talking about Glenn Rogers, all right, the Kasanova killer, the cross-country killer. How did this man know specific details that others did not know, besides people at forensics and the police department and whatever lawyer was in charge of these cases, you know? How did he know specific details? Listen.
Kill his former wife during the robbery. Glenn also provided specific details about the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, which further supported his claim that he committed the brutal murders. ABC News reported that in addition to knowing details about the murders, Rogers was able to draw a detailed picture of the knife he claims to have used to kill the victims.
So he was able to provide specific details, especially give details about the knife that he used to unalive Nicole and her friend. Only the killer could have known that. And the investigators that were investigating the crime. How did he know that? Either he saw what happened or he was there. You see where I'm coming from? So it seemed like Glenn Rogers did have something to do with it, but we can't prove it. You see where I'm coming from? How does that get proved? That's why I asked the questions that I had asked throughout this live, right? I know they're mind-provoking questions, but that's the whole point, to get us to start thinking. All right? And I love listening to the different perspectives. And what's crazy is, right, listening to all this now, it could be that, yes, I mean, what's crazy is both of them are now innocent. They're both guilty and they got away. Well, he didn't get away with murder. O.J. Simpson got away with murder, right? If he paid Glenn Rogers, right, to sit here and rob his wife and unalive her. No wonder they were so confused in the beginning. And we're talking about back in the 80s, right? Mid-80s and shit like that. I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 89. I didn't get to experience that era. But I experienced the 90s. This case is shout out, is wild. What do y'all think? Do y'all believe that O.J. Simpson hired Glenn Rogers to rob and unalive his wife? Was their relationship that toxic? Or is Nicole Simpson's killer still free and at large?
According to ABC News, filmmaker David Monahan said he believes the information provided by Glenn's brother. Combined with Glenn's confession to the criminal profiler, Monahan believes that this should have been enough to prompt an official investigation into his possible involvement in the murders. However, Ronald Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, disagrees. When asked about the information presented in the documentary film, Fred said for ABC News, "The fact of the acquittal at the hands of the jury will never wash away this murder from the hands of O.J. Simpson, no matter how many Glenn Rogers pop up on the media radar screen." Glenn Edward Rogers was ultimately arrested 6 weeks after Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman were found murdered. Law enforcement officials said he went on a crime spree and is suspected of more than 70 murders throughout the United States, for ABC News. Rogers was convicted of several murders and subsequently sentenced to death in both California and Florida. However, he was never arrested and indicted in Brown, Simpson's, and Goldman's deaths, nor was he mentioned as a person of interest in those crimes.
Why? Why? He had specific details. He had the, he mentioned the right knife and everything. If the knife that he talked about was the knife that was used in the crime and nobody knew about it, why is y'all telling me that he didn't do it? Why didn't y'all pursue this investigation? Why didn't y'all, sit here and do what y'all were supposed to do? Take lead, investigate, solve the crime. I mean, shit, it's still going on now. Shit, we're in 2025 and detectives and cops still do the same shit, no matter what. They can raise pay wage and they still fucking do the same shit. But shout out to the real ones. You got some real ones out there that it gets to the point where sometimes they get obsessed with the case and they won't finish that case until it's done. So shout out to them real ones. We got some real police officers and some real detectives out here though. But other than that, the rest of them ain't shit. They corrupt. But I would love to get y'all input on this. What do y'all think? Do y'all still believe that he's innocent? Or do y'all think that, do y'all still believe that he's guilty? Or do y'all feel as though this killer is out at large still? They made this case so complicated. And what's crazy is, there's still a possibility, right? There's still a possibility that he could be innocent. Where was he actually the night of Nicole Simpson's death? You see where I'm coming from? So either he's innocent or he paid, right? Listening to all this, he paid Glenn Rogers to commit that murder, which was a perfect way to get away with murder. Because nobody was going to believe the bull Glenn Rogers. They still don't. To this day, they're saying, right, and they still believe, only if you believe that his confession is true. The rest believe that it's false. But why would he know he's going down? Why would he make a confession to a murder, right? To add it to his, to his jacket. What's the point of it? He's already going down. So I felt as though he thought he was going down, so he might as well have told the truth. I feel as though he was telling the truth. Glenn Rogers got paid by O.J. Simpson to rob and unalive his wife. That is a big, huge possibility. Alright, so that's all they're saying about that right there, right now, man. So when I get further updates, I will, do another live on this, right? But before I go, right? Before I end this message, right? Before I end this live, I want to leave y'all with a message, right? And a question. And I'm gonna start off with the question. What national standards should we adopt, right, for victims advocacy that guarantee every family has access to resources, counseling, and legal support, even years after a case goes cold? All right? Before I go, all right, I want to leave y'all with this message, all right? Because like I told y'all, our lives are more to bring awareness and for us to better improve ourselves, all right? I do open panels and everything to let people come up so that they can talk. All right, we're not here to bash anybody here. We're not here to bring anybody down. None of that. We're here to find solutions. We're here to improve, all right? A better you, a better us. A better me, a better you. A better us, a better world. A better world, a better us, all right? I know that we're going to have the world. Listen, we know that the world is going to be like a yin and yang, all right? We know there's always going to be bad, all right? But at the end of the day, we say we want, change. We want a difference. We want our communities to, feel safer. Then we need to fucking do something about it. Because like, Papa Doug says, ain't no sky daddy dropping down, coming to save us, all right? Oh shit, we got the OG Cutthroat Entertainment in the building. Christian Hammer, was OJ's son the true killer? Which explains the blood matching. Christian Hammer has done a little more research, and I just started the saga. Oh, okay, Christian Hammer, you got me thinking. Was the son there? Could the son have committed something like that? Wait,
How old was Nicole and O.J. Simpson's son around that time? Hold up. How old was Nicole and O.J. Simpson's son around the time that? How old was Nicole and O.J. Simpson's son around?
O.J. Simpson was 76 years old when he died in 2024, and Nicole Brown Simpson was 35 years old when she died in 1994.
Bitch, I wasn't asking you that question. All right. How old was Nicole and O.J. Simpson's son when Nicole was unalived? When Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered alongside her friend, Ron Gutman, on June 12, 1994, her two children were 8 and 5 years. Oh, okay, so she did have her. Which one was 8, though? The boy or the girl? Okay, their oldest son works as a chef. Okay, but so I'm guessing that's the son is the oldest, right? How many kids they got? Oh, they only had 2. The girl was the oldest. So you believe the son did it? The Mesalona restaurant was a mob restaurant. Many people died from there. Huh. The mob of the Mesalona restaurant may have hired the bull to unalive Nicole due to a drug. Ooh, oh, yo, Christian Hammer has been doing his research. Okay, Christian. I like Christian. Okay, Christian. Yo, he doing his research. Okay. He is with a shorty. He is a part of the solution. All right. He a rider. Let me find out. All right, let me see. Cutthroat Entertainment says, hallelujah. Holla Back is a ghetto revival. Yo, but it's Christian. Christian Hammer could be on something. Was both the kids with OJ the night that Nicole was unalive? Was the son with the mom? Like, could the son have felt some type of way, and went on rape? Listen, he just brought a whole new theory out here. Oh, shit. But shout out to Christian Hammer. He makes a good point. I ain't even see it like that because I could never thought that a child. The son. Yo. Yeah, I know. He's a chef now in Atlanta. That's crazy. He got, a different way. Yo, shout out to Christian, man. I'm going to do a part 2 to this. I'm not sure when. Guys, man, if y'all like the stream, make sure y'all smash that like button for a shorty. If y'all didn't, man, to smash, the dislike button is right there. But what I would really appreciate is help me bring awareness by sharing our video, right? That does help a shorty, man. But listen, if y'all ain't sub up, make sure y'all sub up, man, because I am known as the pop-up queen, all right? Listen, I got boots on the ground, right? And then I got boots half in the political, over here. Like, I got a lot of shit going on, right? And I'm, I got kids, so I do got a family life. And I appreciate those that support a shorty, that rock out with a shorty, that come on this jump, bring solutions. Because listen, I'm a leader of my community. I'm a block captain. I'm from North Philadelphia, all right? And we do try to, make a difference, right? I'm somebody that's got a petition out here. We got, we're trying to get cameras in the schools. I mean, there's so much going on, right? And it is working. For those of you thinking that it's not going to work, guess what? It's working. We got, my daughter's school is going to be one of the schools that is going to get cameras put in, thanks to the parents that got together, right? And put petitions out there, thanks to the people that signed the petition and helped back us up, right, on us going to the legislators, right, to try to change these things that are going wrong in these schools, all right? So there are changes being made. It's just that people think that, oh, well, we got to sit down, we got to wait for something to come and rescue us. No, you got to get the fuck up off your ass, get off your mama's couch, pop your mama's nipple out your fucking mouth, and go put in that fucking footwork out there on some real shit. Put boots on the ground and do what you got to do. Like, ain't nobody coming to save you. right? And the answers that you're seeking, right? You're only going to find them within you, all right? Ain't nobody coming to save us. So that right there, we need to take that out our heads. You talking about the oldest son that they have? Christian Hammer is going towards the oldest son. But that's not both their kids. It's OJ's son. Oh shit. We're gonna do a part two, man. I gotta do a part two, man. So we're gonna turn this into a saga, all right? It's just that I got so many lives lined up, all right? And when I come on here, man, is when I got a chance to go on live, you know, interact with a lot of people, talk, right? And then we can get the conversation started. But these cases are deep, man, and we want to find solutions on how we can help, right? Our men within our communities, right? Not get arrested without there being any evidence, just by a he say, she say word, right? To avoid mix-ups like this, right? Because it's one hell of a confusion that's going on with the OJ Simpson case, right? But let me tell you this, right? This live today, right? Us speaking on the OJ Simpson case, right, was never just about one man. It was and still is about how power, race, fame, and flawed systems collide to deny victims their day in court. In the public real answers, right? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman deserve more than a sensational headline. They deserve a justice system that never settles for convenient scapegoats, all right? Now, it's on us, right, to question every step of the process, demand transparency at every turn, and support the reforms that protect victims and preserve truth. If you believe in ending impunity, right, and ensuring every case gets the case it deserves, share this discussion, join local advocacy efforts, and raise your voice for real change. Nicole and Ron can't speak for themselves. Let's be their voice. Stay curious, stay relentless, and never stop demanding justice, all right? Because there is ways that we could change, you know, how can I say, certain things within the system. And I'm not saying the system itself. All right, let me put it like this. The system is not broken. All right, it's the people, right, within the system that is destroying everything around me and you. All right, let me put it like that. Maybe like that, people would understand it. All right. But with all this being said, guys, yo, this is all the time that I got right now, man. I'm gonna see y'all on my next live, yo. Till next time, man. A shorty out, and I appreciate everybody having a conversation with a shorty, you know, giving their opinions, putting their input out here, man. Because listen, if it wasn't for y'all, a shorty wouldn't have made it this far. All right, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all that is supporting. You too, Christian Hammer. Everybody that came in, show support, blessings, and a shorty out, man. And like I told y'all, man, I want y'all to sit with this. We're here to make improvements. We're not here to bash. We're not here to bring nobody down, all right? That's the problem that we're having. We're in competition instead of improving our surroundings.